Welcome to Destructive News. This video, we want to show you yet another example of what happens when destructive elements from destructive families get access to your neighborhood, and how the news and other residents play a role in the foolishness that is spreading across this country.
Hospital undergoing surgery after being hurt in a shooting at an apartment complex in Southwest Charlotte. This happened on Clanton Road. Police tell us 25-year-old Olanda Brown got into an argument with a group of people outside. Things escalated from there. We want to get live to our Bria Bell. Bria, this is one bizarre story, so explain how police say this all happened.
Police say 25-year-old Olanda Brown had an argument in this parking lot. They say she then went inside and some of those people followed her by breaking into her apartment. She ran up the stairs to climb out the second-story window on the roof, and outside there were still people in the parking lot waiting on her. We're told they started shooting. At this time, her uncle and 2-year-old son were inside. Olanda Brown's uncle told me he doesn't know what the argument was about, but believes it was relatives. He also says she was shot in the arm and chest and is having surgery for those injuries. No one else was injured, and police are still looking into it. Coming up at 5:30, we'll hear from one of Olanda's neighbors and how she shares how she was affected because she found a bullet inside her son's room.
I mean, I don't understand why the guns have to come out, and this is just silly.
Right now, a terrifying situation. A woman attacked by a group of people who surrounded her home. Now neighbors say they're even more scared for their safety. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on this Monday. I'm Brigitte Mack.
And I'm Delano Little. That woman shot by more intruders as she tried climbing out of her window to escape. Tonight, she's in surgery.
Now this whole situation has neighbors worried for their safety. I want to go live to WBTV's Bria Bell. Bria, they described to you, these neighbors, a hail of bullets.
Yeah, police say 25-year-old Olanda Brown got into an argument in this parking lot. She went inside her apartment, and that's when things escalated. Bullets went flying, putting everyone inside the unit in danger. And some of those people tell me they are ready to move. They don't feel safe at all. Megan Baldwin, a transplant straight out of Michigan, is a mother of 5.
I gave him a baba.
And always on the go.
And I just had a new baby. He's 10 days old, so I mean, I'm at home cooking and cleaning.
At first glance, Arbor Glen Townhomes gives off an upscale appeal, according to some others who live here. But Baldwin says looks aren't everything.
In the past, I'd say 3 months, there's been probably 4 or 5 shootings around the area.
For Baldwin, keeping her kids safe is a top priority, and it is for any mom. But a shooting Sunday night put Baldwin at her wits' end because it happened in the next unit over, filling her and all of her children with terror.
He thought it was the apocalypse. He thought zombies were coming.
According to police, 25-year-old Olanda Brown had a run-in with a group of people in the parking lot. She went inside her apartment, and some attackers followed by breaking in. Brown tried to escape by climbing out a second-story window on the roof. And that's when some other people who were still in the parking lot started shooting.
Have your words, have your differences, and then go home. You know, you don't have to take somebody's life at the end of the day.
Brown was taken to the hospital to undergo surgery. Police say she's expected to live. No one else was hurt during the attack.
It's my understanding that she's okay, but it would be really terrible to lose somebody around this time, right around the holidays.
Faith is the only thing that Baldwin believes kept her family safe through it all.
It was God having his hand on us.
She's had to explain to her children what happened, a conversation that no mom would ever imagine. But they're all doing just fine.
Morning. They're good. They're good.
Police say this case is still an open investigation, so they can't give a description of the suspect at this time. Live in Southwest Charlotte, Bria Bell, WBTV on your side.
We have a nice looking community of apartments or townhome style apartments with humble folks. That's what I call the average Joes, people who work for a living raising families and actually try at life. Add in a hood chick with a baby and no man in sight and you get nonsense. Outside arguing with 8+ people over what? I bet it was about something said on Facebook or a man. You can't just argue with black folks because it has to escalate to at least a fight. And a fight these days is not 1 versus 1, it's 8 versus 1. And they don't care if you have a baby or if you're with your grandma. Orlando ran into the house with her uncle and her son because Young black woman, 25 years old, is going to have at least one random kid. She is chased upstairs, climbs out the window, and then gunshots go off. And she gets hit twice. The dummies can't shoot, so bullets are hitting cars, going through neighbors' windows, and they run off into the night, never to be heard from again, in true Nowhere Man fashion. We will end with these last points, which double as questions. Why is the white woman with all the mixed babies okay with everything besides the firing of the gun? She mentioned, have your fights and disagreements, but then go home? Sorry, lady. Urban culture doesn't just do verbal arguments, hug it out, and shake hands and walk away. Someone is going to bleed, and you should know that. Why were 8 people after this girl? Could it be from the felony assault she was arrested for in the previous year? I mean, the photo is a mugshot. Destructive family is involved, so no snitching is in effect. The uncle said he thinks the 8 undescribed people were relatives. How do you think someone is related to you? And finally, why are the police playing along and not releasing any suspect information? Nothing. They said because it's an ongoing investigation, they can't release a description. That is not a law. They have decided not to release a description. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's going to be black teenagers, or at least black adults aged 20 to 30, boys and girls. Just a bunch of hood idiots running around, causing fights, drinking, shooting, no respect for anything living on this planet besides themselves. But we'll let you stew on this until the next video. Comment your thoughts on this story, like and share it with your friends and family, and thank you for watching.